Hey, Bless Tribe, it's Coach Jess. I am back again today with another mental health motivational word. I just wanted to tap in and let you guys know that I was thinking about y'all and that I had a blessed and prosperous word for y'all today. So, here in North Carolina, it's just been like raining, it's been gloomy, the weather has not been what I needed it to be so that I can get outside and get on my trail and continue with my good mental health and physical health regimen that I have been on. And sometimes when you can't get into your groove, it kind of throws you off just a little bit. So I've been feeling kind of like stuck in the mud just a little bit emotionally, just because I am one missing my mom. The weather has been like raining, and I look at rain as like purity, purifying me, just releasing things that no longer serve me, as it does in the earth. Like when it rains, it kind of, wash away some things that we no longer want to be here, like pollen. But it also helps rejuvenate and cultivate the land so that fresh crops can grow and that the outside animals can have fresh water to drink. And I just was feeling like, a little down about just missing my mom and just heartache. And I was telling God just in prayer and meditation that I was experiencing just overcoming heartache has been a little pulling on my emotional strings here lately. And that's just being transparent because everybody has different emotions. Everybody goes through ups and downs with their mental health, physical health, emotional health, spiritual health. It's all intertwined together. So it's very important to make sure that you're staying on course, balance, making sure that you are sowing into your gifts, sowing into yourself, meditating, praying, journaling, seeking your own therapist, your own life coach, self help classes, self development, positive motivation. It takes a mixture of all of those things, ingredients for me to stay balanced and to make sure that I'm staying close to my father, that I can continue to be a vessel that he continues to use. So I was just feeling like that for a while, and I was just communing with God first thing in the morning, like, listen, what do you want me to learn from this emotional experience that I'm having? Just missing my mom. Girls go through many things, relationships go through many phases, kids go through many phases, and the person that we naturally turn to is our mother or our father or just like a trusted friend here in the earthly realm outside of our father. And I was just missing that person in my life. So I was just like, not crying or anything like that, but I really just wanted to commune with her and just sit with her. But she's no longer here. She has transitioned. So I was just speaking with the next best thing, which is my father. And he was telling me, Jessica, your heartache is the reason why you are feeling the way you're feeling emotional in this season right now or these last few days in your life. And it's because you give people way too many chances. You are too gracious. You give a lot of mercy. You give a lot of grace. And that begins to tack on your body, just being a beacon of life, being forgiving, not holding grudges, moving forward when bad things happen. So grief is one of those things that's going to happen over and over again, but we don't have any control of when we lose family members and when God will call them home. But far as our relationships and our friendships and our business communications and connections that we make, things that we continue to put ourselves in, those are things that we can control. And God, he was slapping me up in the spirit very gently, like he does, like the Father does, okay? And he was telling me, you are being stubborn in some areas of your life. Nobody wants to hear these type of messages, but he got me together really quickly. It is not for disparity or to discourage me or to make me feel bad about any decisions that I've made, but he's letting me know the reason why you're feeling this pulling on your heart is because you are being stubborn in some areas. So when you are in a relationship and you allow somebody to dishonor you, and that's because you didn't even know how to honor yourself, you didn't even know what you needed to be whole and be complete and to make sure that you're getting your spiritual and emotional physical tanks fed within different human relationships that we have. You are the person responsible for your own spiritual tank. You're the person responsible to commune with people and tell them, listen, when you yell at me, I don't like that. When you are late constantly, my friend got on me yesterday. You're always late. Yeah, when you are late constantly, it puts me in a bad space. I don't like to rush when I like to do things for fun. When you just don't do the dishes after I cook, or whatever your pet peeve or things that grind your gears. When you tell people these things and they do not seem to honor it, it puts you in a bad place where it will bring you down. It will emotionally drain you. It will physically, spiritually drain you, where you will feel that tugging on your emotional strings. So I went immediately to the back. I prayed first. I asked God, where do you want me to begin with my study? And God said, go to stubborn. So as I went through different scriptures, and it told me where it talks about being stubborn in the Bible. It took me to Proverbs, and I love Proverbs. Steve Harvey talk about Proverbs. It is the book of wisdom. Okay, if you needed to get some knowledge really quick, really easy to understand, you are not a Bible scholar, Proverbs is a perfect place to start. It gives us so much wisdom there. So naturally, I was excited to go to Proverbs because I knew I was going to get some revelation from it immediately. I don't have to go into meditation and ask how to interpret what I'm reading. Like, it comes so natural when you're in the book of Proverbs. So, first, let me share the definition of being stubborn, because I thought that was important. Biblically, it says stubborn is being unreasonable and being unyielding. And it actually talked about when I went to Google, it said that you are like basically being stubborn like a mule about behavior changes and about attitudes that you have about a certain person, a certain event, or something in your life that you are being unyielding, and you do not want to act on it. You do not want to, it says that stubborn is the determination not to change your attitude on something despite of good reason to do so. And God was just getting with me, like, Jessica, you're gonna have to crack down on people in your life. You're gonna have to move around different. As that eagle spirit, you're not going to be able to gently tap people on the back and tell them that certain things will no longer be able to be tolerated. Even with yourself, when you are doing your discipline, when you are self-discipline and making sure you're staying committed to your health goals, your spiritual goals, and your professional goals, you're not going to have time to babysit people in your life. So you're only going to be able to have highly qualified people in your life. And as I attest many times before, everyone around me has to rise up, or they're not going to be able to stay. So God was getting with me about basically just being more stern with myself and holding people around me more accountable. And in the book of Proverbs, verse 28:14, it says, the stubborn are headed for serious trouble. So when I got that, I'm always wanting to know how to please my Father. How does He want me to operate myself here within this earthly realm? Because I know I have a strong angelic connection. I know I have those prophetic gifts. I know that angels commune with me all the time and, show themselves. And He showed Himself present with me every step of the way. So being that I know that and I'm awakened to that, I have to conduct myself a certain way. And even you have to conduct yourself a certain way in the kingdom. People are looking at you. They are going to model whatever you show them. A lot of people, when they get on our channels, when they get into connections with us, get in rooms with us, ride the bus with us, go to church with us, we're their only source of kingdom. We are their little light. So I guess that's why the songs say, "Let your light shine." So after I started thinking about heartache, I went immediately to love. And I am currently on a self-love, self journey, just figuring out what I need, especially after losing someone. You have to now figure out different ingredients that you need that you didn't need before. Obviously, you're going to need more support in certain areas of your life. Like when I first lost my mom, I had to get into massage therapy. I got into psychological therapy. I actually just started communing with friends, getting into prayer, going to church more. I actually joined the church after my mom passed. I just needed to stay in cultivated, tight-knit environments for my new ingredient regimen that I needed to be my whole and complete self. So even for you, as life events happen, life events are things such as divorce, death, relocation, starting a new career journey, having a child, getting married. Those things are considered like astronomical things that could throw you into a depression if you are not properly feeding yourself with what you need to be able to thrive in those different environments. And after losing my mom, I had to find my new normal. I had to find out how much happy I needed, how much quiet I needed, how much work I needed, how much self care I needed, how much traveling I needed, how much, just communing with other kingdom ambassadors, how much self care and professional development, all of those things, they changed after my life went through uh, that life changing event of losing her. I had to then go back and say, Jessica, who are you now without your mom having to care for her like the way you did? Who are you now just being a mother without a mother? You have to figure out different facets of you, and you have to do it at a rapid speed. The way that the world works, you are not able to just sit there for 6 weeks or 6 months or 6 years and not do anything, just totally tap in. Life continues to happen. Your dream continues to either thrive or you put it by the wayside because your heart is so heavy. So when I went to love, of course, biblically, I looked up what love meant, and it said that love meant mercy, fidelity, and devotion. And it took me to the book of Leviticus. And that book basically was in the New Testament, and it talked more about some of the ways that God instructed for the Israelites to live and things that he did not want them to do, such as like getting tattoos. And I always wonder, where did our elders get these type of teachings from? But I read it more today, and it talks about like not cutting your hair, and some of those traditions that I thought were not applied to me, because I was like, well, that seems kind of old timey, but the Bible says what it says. So Leviticus talks about in chapter 19 verse 14, it basically helped me understand how to make sure that I am honoring myself. And I'm mainly talking about like romantic relationships, close friendships, close business partners that are going to impact how you are able to advance in the kingdom, and things that could hold you back, and things that could no longer serve you, and you may still want to keep hold on to these things. Forgiving people is okay. Allowing people to make mistakes is okay. But when a person begins to take advantage of you, it dampens your heart. It makes you feel depressed, used up, washed up, like the bottom of somebody's shoe. And God got on me, and he said, Jessica, you are responsible for the way that you allow people to treat you, even your intimate partner, even your daughter, even your mom when she was here, your dad, your sisters, anybody that is intimately connected with you. You're going to have to watch how they treat you. And he basically opened my eyes up to the scripture, and it says, Leviticus 19:14, it says, do not insult the deaf or cause the blind to stumble. You must fear your God. I am the Lord. And what that stood out to me is that, when people maliciously try to withhold information from you, when people maliciously deceive you and they are not devoted to you and they do not show that fidelity with you, it breaks your heart. Healing from a heartache, if you decide to forgive that person, is hard work. But you must begin to work with yourself, love yourself, value yourself. Know that you deserve someone who is devoted to you, someone who you don't have to treat how to teach you, how you don't have to teach them how to treat you. It's a natural, innate thing because they value you so much, like the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow that people speak about. I want you guys to catch this in the spirit also. So when I looked at that scripture, it just resonated with me on a different level, because God is saying your standard has to come up. Your standard must get to a level where you know your value and that other people around you know your value. So when people do things to dishonor you, people do make mistakes. I have been one who has not showed fidelity in a relationship previously, but you do have to begin at some point to require maturity. You have to require that people honor you the way you honor them, the way you honor yourself and honor them in return, or you're going to begin to have lower self-esteem. It's going to emotionally and spiritually drain the life out of you. So I wanted to get on today and to share that with you guys and the revelation I got from that. And it's not just for you. God was speaking to me. I have to level up. I have to go to new levels, new devils. And I am trained to go for them. But your personal life and your professional life, and even with your children, those facets of you and those relationships have to be rock solid in order for you to really feel like you can do your kingdom business. In order, you have to be surrounded by the right people. And God wanted me to also share, after I was, meditating about the heartache. And it originally started with my mom. And then God was saying, I'm going to get you through the grief, but you also have to not be stubborn and keep people around you that don't show that devotion and that mercy and that love and that fidelity. So when you're thinking about love, I want you to think about these type of words. And when people tell you that they love you, they must be showing what the Bible say that love must represent in your life. Because if you didn't have a father growing up, your perspective of love may be jaded. It may not be what you really need. So that was just a teaching I got on today. R.C. Blake snatched my wig off, put it back on there, and curl it and make it all cute again. But for a while, I couldn't even listen to him. I had to turn him off because the information he was giving me was so new and so raw. I couldn't digest it all at once. I had to then begin to do my self discovery, my self love. And then maybe about 4 months later, I was able to come back and receive his messages and his teachings about queenology, about queen consciousness, about loving on yourself and knowing your value. So sometimes when you hear messages such as this, you may feel attacked. You may feel like, oh, I'm going to be left alone. These people don't want me to have anybody. No, but we are requiring you to step it up, level it up. It's time for you to no longer just ovulate, just levitating in that limbo stage. It's time for you to rise up. Like if you're on the elevator, just imagine going from the ground floor and you have to go level per level for level. And God is not wanting you to stay on one level too long. He don't want me to stay on one level too long. So as a Blessed Tribe community, I want all of us to be coming together as kingdom ambassadors, supporting one another and getting the knowledge. Because once you have the knowledge, you can't then say, oh, I didn't know that, people were dishonest. I didn't know that I had to hold people around me accountable. I didn't know that I had to move around when people dishonor me and show me that they're not devoted to the same cause I'm devoted to. And I was actually getting more good news. And that's how I knew my emotional state was a little down in the dumps for a few minutes, because I was like getting good news. But I wasn't authentically happy. And I got more good news this morning about just having access. And when I was getting my car done, my oil change, I was reading a magazine as I was sitting there waiting, and I took a picture of it. I just pulled it up. And the slogan in there, it says access. And it says, access means going from overlooked to overbooked. And sometimes when you hear things like on commercials and slogans and things like that, it's catchy slogans, it jogs your memory. But God wanted me to He reminded me in that moment. He was saying, Jessica, you have access. And these are the spiritual keys that I always talk about that exist in the angelic world. You have access to pull your stuff down and to bring it into manifestation stage where you can see it. And you not loving yourself and keeping people that are not devoted and not on the same wavelength as you, it robs you of the opportunity to unlock things for yourself, your kids, your family, and your community. So you not choosing yourself not only impacts you, it impacts your children, your family, your community, and most importantly, the other people you are supposed to be helping. You rob everybody of that opportunity when you don't set those strong boundaries, when you don't hold people accountable for what they say they're going to do or how they say they're going to respect your boundaries. You have access to all of these things in your life. You got access to pull them down and to bring them into your physical life right now. You don't have to wait until you get to a promised land, to get these things. You can get them right now. You are supposed to be living abundantly, not borrowing money. You're supposed to be the person who's lending money, who's helping the poor, who's helping orphans, and who's helping people who do not have husbands, who are considered widows. You're supposed to be doing this service work that needs to be done in the kingdom. And when I was getting good news and I wasn't like really fully sitting in it, God had me write down, we are all getting like approval letters, and this could be in the spirit or in the earthly realm. Like, you're going to get approval letters. You're going to be successfully completing whatever you start. You are going to be invited to sit at tables, and at these tables that he's going to bring you to, you're going to already need to have self-love. You're going to already need to be holding people accountable to a high standard around you. You're already going to need to know your value. And when he brings you to these tables, you're going to be learning. It's going to be opportunities where you're going to be able to be put before great men and women who can help propel your vision to the next level. But you can't go there with low self-esteem, not sure of yourself, no confidence, just letting people cheat on you, treating you any kind of way, slap you upside your head. They walk in your house is nasty, your kids are disrespectful, your business has no sort of fruitful gains. People are not going to buy into that. They're going to say you're missing some sort of key that I'm going to be able to sow into. So when he brings you to these tables, he needs you to already be equipped and have the fruitful the actual fruit from what you say that you are expertise in doing. So in your life, Blessed Tribe, I want you to be thinking about the things that I'm sharing. I want you to be thinking about how well you love on yourself. Are you healing from a heartache of something bad that happened, in addition to something that you actually can change? A conversation you can have with somebody to say, I no longer want to tolerate that. That no longer makes me happy. We can't move forward if that thing continues to happen. You have to have conversations with your children. You're not going to be able to keep your room dirty. Mommy needs a clean house. It mentally keeps you on course, being able to find things easily, being able to get out of the door a little faster and not be late everywhere you go. So things like that, God just wanted me to share that you have access. Know that you're going to be successful. Have that optimistic attitude, even when you are emotionally drained, when other people, you are allowing other people to pull on your emotional and spiritual strains. Know that you still need to keep that optimistic attitude. Know that the right person who loves you will come along and love you the way you deserve to be loved. Know that the way you're modeling for your children, even though they may not show it for the first 3 weeks, if you continue that regimen, they're going to follow suit. As women, as parents, we are the models of our home. Kids are going to follow suit what you do. If London gets off square, it's because her parents are modeling or not demonstrating what she needs to do in order to be successful. The same thing with you. You have to continue to hold yourself to a certain standard. Once you get all the knowledge from that table or that level that you're on, it's time to elevate higher. Go higher. Don't settle. When I got my tea on last night, I like my tea to sit for a minute, and I made a large thing, and when I got my tea bag, it said settling is not an option. Another tea bag came out and it said, these are like 2 different brands, and I actually taped it to the top of my laptop and it says settling is not an option. So I know that that rings a bell with me, and I know that he wants me to share that with you, because settling can't be an option for the Blessed Tribe, okay? Jess can't settle. You can't settle, and you don't want your kids to settle. And remember, when you settle, it not only impacts you, it impacts your community, your children, it impacts those connected to you. So more people are dependent on you than just you. Our Father wants us to come together and help one another, okay? So remember that you got the access, expect good news. And in that good news, even when you emotionally may be off a little bit, try to get yourself back to where you know that your Father wants you to be able to serve your gift. Everybody have good days and bad days. I don't want you to think that because you're having a bad day, you're abnormal. You need to go to the, ward or somewhere and get on antidepressants. No, it's a part of life. That's why I like to focus on the mental health. I like to get on and encourage you guys so you can know I have bad days too. But guess what? I'm not going to let that stop me from pressing play. I'm going to still come up here, be all about some lip gloss. My energy may be a little shifted, but I have the perfect ingredients and I know where to go to get my energy. I know where all of my help come from. I know what God supply that strength that he gives me to be able to do this gift. I went to the word this morning. I went into meditation this morning. I went into journaling this morning. I went into being still and being quiet this morning. And I don't do this just on this morning. I do this on a regular regimen basis so that I can easily bounce back when I'm having that off day. But if you continue to have multiple off days, they turn into weeks and turn into months, you're going to sink into a depression. I do not want any of my Blessed Tribe members to go through those type of tendencies alone. I am here as your life coach. I get on here each and every day. I give you guys a positive mental health motivational word. I let you guys know that I'm here to support you. More people are sowing into their mental health. More people are getting on point with their healing journey. I don't want you to feel like that you can't invest in yourself. You're worth it. You're worth every penny that you spend on yourself, your children. It's not only going to rain on you, it's going to rain on your child, your family members, and your community. Your spiritual gift is not for you. It's not for your local community. It's for the world. 7.8 billion people out here. There is a place on this platform, Instagram, Facebook, any type of platform where you can let people know, the newspaper. If you want to do vlogging for people, Pinterest, you can put information out on social media at any given time to let people know that what you're doing in your living room, what you naturally can do, take pictures of it, promote it, let people know that you're there to help them. Because what you're strong in, trust me, Coach Jess is weak in. I am not the best cleaner, the best cook, the best child care person. I'm not the best driver. I'm not the best wardrobe person. I don't know how to do makeup. I tried to do the best I could with oily skin. I don't know how to do hair. I may not know what fabrics go with what. People have expertise out here and they need your expertise. They're waiting for you to come to the marketplace. God birthed every human being with a spiritual gift. You're supposed to be serving it with your other kingdom ambassadors. And he's going to give you all the strength that you need to be able to do that gift. So don't think it's only, this strength that I have and being bold and confident and searching self-love and holding people accountable, setting boundaries. Don't think it's only for me. It's for both of us. So tap in with me. Continue to support the channel. I want you guys to like it before you leave. Subscribe if you have not. Make sure your notification bell is on so it can come to the top of your feed every time I upload a video. I want you guys to be encouraged. Know that all of us have access. God say you're going to go from overlooked to overbooked, okay? And that's a part of having access, knowing that things are going to work out for you. Have that optimistic attitude. You are going to be successful. You're already successful before you see the fruit. That's how you see the fruit, because you are the person that know your vision is going to come to reality. And remember, those friends, those lovers, those coworkers, those family members, whoever it is that is coming against you or trying to say things to you to make you unsure of yourself, to make you worry about your bills, worry about, how you're going to promote yourself, why you being so confident, why you decide to talk about this and, second guessing everything you do. They're not going to be able to be around you in this season because they're going to confuse you and put you into a state of fear. Do it anyway, but don't continue to have people in your ear that keeps you second guessing what you know is right, what you know your Father asked you to do. I'm glad that you guys found value from the channel. Continue to sow into it. I love you guys. I'm going to continue to sow into it even on my off days, even on my, perfect days. It doesn't matter. I'm going to be up here with you all. You're not alone. Coach Jess loves you. Have a fabulous day. Go out and be all boss and lip gloss. Don't worry about me. I'm going to be okay because I pray to my Father. I have that angelic connection. I know that, the work that I'm doing as a kingdom ambassador, it's not going to be easy. It's not easy being a role model. That's why Michael Jordan on his documentary, he said, listen, he said, I didn't sign up to be a role model. I signed up to be a ball player. So when you are out here putting yourself out there for the kingdom, expect backlash. Darkness do not like the light. Too much light blinds the darkness. People like staying in the dark, wandering around in the wilderness by themselves. You can't save everybody, but the ones who want the knowledge, the ones who sign up for your business, the ones that positively support you, sow into you, respect your boundaries, get on your calendar, don't talk to you crazy, respect your sleep regimens, don't ring your doorbell when you say don't ring your doorbell, don't, do certain things to your children's hair when you say don't do it, when they don't say certain things because they know they're going to trigger you. People, when they respect you on that level, they love you, they support you. And those who don't, they're going to have to move around. And it's up to you to get them in your life or to keep them in your life. Don't be the corporate of your own misery. God was telling me today, Jessica, you being stubborn, you better be listening, because people who don't listen are headed for serious trouble. And I don't want to be in trouble with my Father, okay? I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'll be right back up here tomorrow giving you guys another mental health motivational word. Thank you for sewing into the channel. And go out and have a fabulous, fabulous day, okay? I love you. God bless.